You set Dell on a path of being carbon neutral. Take a moment. I don't know if everybody here understands what carbon neutrality means. Explain the concept, and then tell us how you're doing at meeting that goal.
Well, the concept is to first, take an inventory of all the greenhouse gases that our company emits through all the activities that we engage in as a company. And, we were one of the first companies to be part of the Carbon Disclosure Project, one of the few companies in the Fortune 50 to actually disclose, what we emit, and more companies are joining us. Fortunately, because of our business model, we have, one of the lowest carbon intensities of any company in the universe. So if you look at the amount of revenue we generate versus the carbon we emit, it's actually quite low. So first you have to kind of take inventory of all these things. Then you sort of attack the problem. You say, okay, what can we do to conserve energy in our buildings, in our operations, in the things that we control inside our business, changing how we use energy inside our own operations. And there's quite a lot we can do there, from our own data centers to our own PCs with power management and those kinds of things that we deliver for our customers too. Then we look at renewable energy sources, and so we look to source.
What kind? Solar, wind?
It's a combination. There's wind energy in Texas. There's waste gas energy. So there's a lot of ways to source renewable energy, and those are increasing. So renewable energy is a big piece of this. And then we look finally at how do we offset the remaining greenhouse gas emissions that we emit as a company. And we were also one of the first companies to give our customers a choice when they buy to actually be able to offset the emissions of a specific PC. So at that same CES, we announced this program called Plant a Tree for Me. And it's a pretty simple program. So when you're buying a PC, for a notebook computer, it's $2.
Right.
And for a desktop computer, it's $6. Pretty small amount of money, but you give the customer choice. We have another program called Plant a Forest for Me, where big companies like AMB, Ambro, and really large staples can participate with us and go plant a forest to offset all the PCs that they have in their environment.
Do you think we're going to see a day where the leadership we see in the federal sector is because the economists had a survey saying that only 9% of folks are going to be carbon neutral by 2012. Do we need mandates to get to where we have to get to?
I'm pretty cautious on mandates. I think oftentimes when you get a kind of sweeping regulation, it misses nuances that are pretty important. Let me give you a simple example. If you take some of the standby power regulations that would look at one particular component of an electronic device, the power supply, albeit it's an important part of an electronics device. Dishwashers and refrigerators are quite different from servers and storage systems in your data center. They both have power supplies. They both plug into the grid. But treating those exactly the same, I don't necessarily think is the right answer. What I'm seeing is a kind of massive increase in the interest and awareness and action around this topic. So, in our case, we've introduced this idea of energy smart products, and energy smart is kind of the default setting on virtually all of our products now. What this really means is that if you take a mainstream product, highest volume product we sell in the world, the energy consumption on that product went from about $100 a year to about $22 a year. So a massive, massive reduction. And oh, by the way, this is independent of any user setting, user software. No need for you don't have to turn anything on or turn anything off or flip this way. It just happens automatically. And so what this has resulted in the last year and a half or so is we've saved 20 million tons of carbon emissions. We've also saved our customers $2.1 billion.
Why are you seemingly so far ahead of other computer manufacturers in producing environmentally friendly machines?
Well, I think we've been out in front on this. I went to our design teams and said, okay, I don't care if you're designing printers or storage or desktops or monitors or projectors or whatever. Let's dramatically reduce power consumption. And this is the right thing to do for our environment. It's the right thing to do for our customers. It'll save our customers money. And we try to think about any of these things, whether it's brominated flame retardants or recycling or child labor or environmental issues, and say, well, what should we be doing as a good company, as a responsible company? And we want to do those things way before somebody would sort of show up and say, well, what have you done?
And what is on the short list in your mind of things that these folks who are looking to produce more energy efficient infrastructures could do to get some quick wins right off the bat?
Well, I think there are a couple of simple things. Virtualization is not only a great way to better utilize and manage servers, but it also saves energy. I think the Energy Smart products is just a very, very simple way to dramatically reduce energy consumption, and that's something you can do just as part of your normal process of upgrading and evolving the environment you have inside your company, inside your organization. So those are really, really easy things to go and do.
I was reading about, we've all heard Gen X, Gen Y, and to me what seemed to be an interesting partnership, if you will, just drafting off of your September speech, was your regeneration effort you're doing at Dell. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's kind of exciting. We came up with this concept of the regeneration, and the idea is that there's the X generation and the Y generation, and so the regeneration are people of all ages who care about the environment. And we did something recently with Facebook. Maybe your kids know about Facebook, but Facebook has this graffiti application where you can create graffiti online. And we had this regeneration.org contest with Facebook. We've had over 1 million people participate, just in a few weeks. So, this topic resonates kind of far and wide across the world, with lots and lots of folks.